In this video, I'll be ranking every single tower in Master Tower Defense. Apparition, S tier. The Apparition is a melee tower that has decent DPS that works extremely well by itself. Possessing the ability to teleport to targets and slowing them down gives it more time to deal heavy amounts of damage. Bowler, F tier. The Bowler is extremely overrated, with many claiming that it is the best tower in the game. However, it is extremely bad in most scenarios other than early game, due to its cost. On top of this, the Bowler requires beating Hidden Wave, which is quite difficult. Boxer, S tier. The Boxer is extremely good at early defense, able to shred everything due to its low cost. On top of this, it is extremely easy to obtain, only requiring a simulation map to be beaten. Chainer, F tier. The Chainer is heavily outclassed by any other crowd control tower due to it being too expensive and having terrible DPS. Despite the potential DPS being high, it never actually gets near that number, not even half of it. Deadeye, A tier. The Deadeye is an extremely versatile tower, able to be used anywhere due to it being cost efficient and having a decently high DPS, making it one of the best towers in the game. Dissolver, A tier. The Dissolver is a decent crowd control option for early game, but it also chips away at bosses later in the game, making it quite good. However, it is rather difficult to obtain, requiring beating the 30-minute endless boss. Flamethrower, S tier. The Flamethrower is an excellent tower all game, easily cheesing through the early waves and dealing lots of chip damage to stronger enemies. Freezer, B tier. The Freezer is excellent at crowd control, able to stall many enemies at once, and this allows it to synergize well with splash towers. However, since many enemies have the freeze immunity, which makes them immune to Freezer's freeze, it is not that great. Grave, F tier. Grave after the recent nerfs has just been terrible. The units are too weak, the cost is too much, and overall it isn't very useful. On top of all, it requires beating TVZ on night mode, which is difficult and not worth beating to obtain Grave. Gunner, C tier. Gunner is a good tower for early defense due to its low cost, however it has bad DPS on later levels, making it ineffective for mid to late game. Hunter, A tier. Hunter is an extremely good tower. It is able to be used throughout the entire game, from early to late, and can even beat the Destroyer on many maps. The Hunter also has an ability which allows it to scale its damage based on the number of arrows on the target. Miner, F tier. The Miner is a terrible tower to use. It is outclassed by the Thief. The Miner is also extremely difficult to use, as the incorrect strategy will actually lead to making losses. Minigunner, B tier. The Minigunner has a lot of DPS, is spammable and very easy to obtain, being a level 15 tower. This makes it a very good choice for a lot of the modes. Mortar, C tier. Mortar is extremely bad for a crowd control tower, but it isn't as bad as Chainer, but it's still outclassed by other towers due to its low DPS. Ninja, A tier. Ninja is extremely versatile and cost efficient, which makes it good for early to mid game. It also has Pierce, which allows it to deal more damage, which can sometimes get a lot of value. Pistoler, F tier. Pistoler is a terrible tower. It is only useful early but gets quickly overrun by regular enemies due to its bad DPS, but it is the starter tower after all. Plasm, A tier. Plasm has extremely high DPS, allowing it to shred bosses. However, its charge time makes it terrible at anything else. Pyramid, S tier. Pyramid is one of the best, if not the best tower in the game. It provides massive buffs to surrounding towers. Because of this, Pyramid is extremely versatile and can be used in almost every single loadout. Repulsor, S tier. Repulsor is the best single target tower in the game, able to shred almost anything due to its high DPS and massive range. However, it is quite expensive to upgrade. Robot, C tier. Robot is heavily outclassed. The damage it does is too little and is even worse than the minigunner. The recent missile nerf just absolutely killed the tower. Shotgunner, B tier. Shotgunner is one of the best towers for low-level players. It is good for early game, as it is cheap and provides good crowd control. Sniper, D tier. Sniper is a terrible tower due to its low DPS, being outclassed by almost every tower, and it cannot be used for early game due to its long reload time. Thief, S tier. Thief is the best economy tower in the game, able to be used for early game while still being cheap and generating cash at the same time. Wizard, S tier. The Wizard is currently the best crowd control in the game. It is extremely cost efficient and deals a lot of damage to anything it touches. However, it is difficult to obtain as it requires beating burnt hard. That's all the towers. Please leave your opinions in the comments down below.